So let's stir the pot a little bit today, shall we? Alright folks, so I've been thinking about this video for a while, decided to finally do it. I have an opinion about the best Scalextric mold in recent memory. How do I characterize that? Well, since about, the early 2000s, when Scalextric made this mold, the Boss Mustang, this guy was paired with the Camaro. This is a more recent livery, as you all probably know. It's not, it's very close to one of the original ones that they did. It's hard to argue that there has been a more successful mold for Scalextric maybe ever. Whoa! Okay, let's slow down here a little bit. No, we're not gonna. Every year, as far as I know, and I believe I am correct about this, although it's going to be pretty hard to check me. Every year that Scalextric has made a Boss Mustang, pretty much it's sold out. Every year. Since about 2000, 2002, when did this come out originally? 2003, 2004? Wasn't too much later than that. These guys, Scalextric, have been making this car absolutely forever. They made so many liveries on it, and yet every time they release the thing as they call it, a solo car, just a car on a base. As far as I know, the car is pretty much sold out every single time. It's hard to say that for basically any other mold that they've made in the modern era, since about 2000 or so. That's what a lot of folks, I guess, consider the modern era of slot cars, when they started to kind of regain some popularity. And, arguably Scalextric were one of the first people to really capitalize, or to see early what was really going to sell. The Trans Am stuff that was sold, that they kind of broke ground on. I guess you'd say they broke ground on it. They sold that stuff from the word go. It just kept on selling and selling and selling and selling, and still does. The most asked for cars in the US are basically still muscle cars. I can promise you this, all of the experience that I had with SCX, we did the CUDA, that was basically meant to dovetail in with the Trans Am stuff. And this was, about 2008. I started to talk to, was it 2008? Yeah, 2007, when I was just consulting for SCX. And we made the CUDA, the first two CUDAs that we made, the Gurney and the Sweet Savage CUDA. That was basically made to dovetail with the existing Scalextric Trans Am cars that were already out there. Scalextric has made a small fortune, probably a large one, over more than a decade now, on just making the Trans Am cars. Pioneer got into the market. This was a Pioneer car that I got fairly recently. I bought this, I forget where I got it from. Case was all cracked and gnarly looking, and I haven't run it yet. That's kind of a crime in and of itself. But it is, and actually it was run. It was used. But boy, it's a beautiful car. And the Trans Am stuff, Pioneer has made a real market for themselves out of just the Trans Am cars. Very soon, Scalextric is going to come to the market with this notchback Mustang. I've talked about this car previously. From the pictures now that I've seen, the updated photos of the production versions of the car, it's got nice big fat tires on the back. That was something I had hoped they do. Mission accomplished on that one. Looks really good, frankly. They look nice and large like the Pioneers do, which is really great to hear. I'm sure this is going to be a solid running little car. I've run this prototype on my track a little bit, but this isn't to talk about kind of, what might come out. It's to kind of really acknowledge that Scalextric got it right. They do a lot of cars each year, 50 or so new cars a year. 10 of those cars are US specific molds. No one else even comes close to that as a percentage. Carrera can't even get in the same zip code as that, as the same percentage of cars they make to US specific cars. They maybe do 2 or 3 cars a year. Now, recently they've maybe done 1 or 2 more because they re-released the Torino and the some of the Winged Warriors. But you can't come close to essentially 10 a year, which is what Scalextric have done. And, you know, they knocked it out of the park from the beginning with the Boss Mustang and with the Camaro too, but definitely with the Mustang. I had found, you know, working for SCX, working for Carrera then for about 8 years, working for Scalextric sadly for only about 2 years. With all the companies, quite frankly, the Mustang was just, and the older Mustangs, not unfortunately the modern stuff, not the current Mustangs I should say, but the older Mustangs, Trans Am, vintage, those years, early 70s, you know, these are the cars people want. It's been proven year after year after year with solid sales. Every year, the cars go into distribution, go out of distribution, and they're sold out. And they definitely, I don't really put a lot of personal emphasis on collectability of cars, but definitely the Trans Am cars from Scalextric have been some of the consistently best sold, best collected, whatever. It's good stuff. And you got to give them credit for that. And you got to give them credit for sticking with the Mustang, specifically the Trans Am stuff. I mean, they recently now have done the CUDA. That was a project that I had helped kind of begin while I was still at the company, and I'm sure they're going to have good success with that. But really, it's based on one thing. It's based on solid, there's only one thing that really matters to the slot car company. Sales of cars matter. Not what people say they're going to buy. Not what, oh, they want to click on or they want to like on a Facebook page or on social media. What matters is sales. This guy, the Boss Mustang. And also, I am not a huge fan of Mustang or Ford. I had been more of a GM guy for most of my life. I've been coming around. Anyway, I just want to kind of do one of these videos. I haven't done a topic video in a while, so I wanted to do one just to have fun. Maybe stir the pot a little bit, folks. All right, well, I appreciate everybody stopping by. And you want to tell me I'm full of crap? Please feel free to in the comments down below. But come with receipts, because I can promise you, this guy sells. Talk to you soon, folks.